heading out into the Channel shipping lanes at the start of a day which would end in terrible tragedy for a migrant boat that left the shores of Calais. This is the story of our day on the Channel, an encounter with another boat out of Calais, one which did make it safely to the UK. And by daylight, as Border Force and lifeboats are already responding to numerous sightings, we spot this small boat crossing into British waters. 22, mainly men on board, with a couple of women and a small child. They tell us they're from Iraq and Iran, that they set off from Calais at 5 a.m. Now they've reached UK waters, the people smugglers will have told them it's just a matter of being picked up by British authority. Well, as they saw us approaching, those on board this boat cut their engine in the hope, obviously, of being picked up by Border Force and the RNLI. The difficulty is that both Border Force and the lifeboats are some distance away dealing with other incidents, so it's likely to be some time before they get here and reach these people. Those on board showed us a small child who they said was suffering from exposure to the cold. The boat skipper radioed those concerns to the Coast Guard.
It's my blanket because she's really, really cold, so I'm going to stand by the vessel, but they keep asking me to put the kiddie on board and I'm not willing to do that, over.
But with Border Force and lifeboats already offloading those they've picked up at Dover and at Dungeness, or responding to other incidents, any response here will have to wait. GBNews presenter Nigel Farage, who's been front and centre of efforts to cover this growing crisis, has seen boats set off in increasingly hazardous sea conditions. In a conversation which now seems prescient, he warned it would only be a matter of time before a significant tragedy in these waters.
These people took off from a French beach. The wind would have been straight on the shore. There would have been a little bit of a surf running. They would have taken water from the moment they left the beach. They must be, I mean, I'm not warm and it's damp and it's, they must be very, very cold. And I would think, a lot of people dying of hypothermia is a real risk.
A Coast Guard helicopter assessed the scene an hour and a half after we first reported this migrant vessel, before the Dover lifeboat arrived shortly after that. The Home Secretary says the small boats crisis is a top priority for her department. But those who fished these waters all their working lives say the people traffickers won't be put out of business until the UK government gets tough.
No, it's definitely getting worse. I've seen it progressively get worse over the last 12 months. If they don't reach the English soil and then they're put on a processing island, or for a word, I suppose, there's no incentive for them to come to England, is there?
As we left those on board this inflatable to be picked up by the Dover lifeboat and headed back to port, more calls on the radio, more sightings of other small boats. And of course the tragic events near Calais, which will place extreme pressure on both the British and French authorities. Mark White, GB News in the English Channel.